Subscribe our channel Shyam Academy and press the bell icon for getting latest notifications.
Hello students, welcome to our academy. This is Shyam, you are watching Shyam Academy. This is the continuation class of the yesterday's section. So this is the annulenes part 2. Before I am going to explain the part 2 of the annulenes, I just want to explain you some introduction part of the chemical shift values on H1 NMR. So generally these annulenes from the 14 onwards studied by the spectroscopy. So from the spectroscopic results, without going Huckel's rule, we can predict the aromaticity of the annulenes. Either it is anti-aromatic or aromatic. So how it is, today we are going to discuss. So mainly, what is the chemical shift? So generally, if we are going to talk about H1 NMR, then the nuclei here is only hydrogen because it is H1 NMR. Or if I talk C13 NMR, then the nuclei is only C13, that is carbon atom. If I talk about phosphorus NMR, then the nuclei is only phosphorus. The study of NMR is mainly depend on a particular atom. Either it is hydrogen or carbon atom or phosphorus atom or any other compound in which NMR we are going to discuss. So here these annuline spectral studies are mainly from the hydrogen NMR. Okay, so these hydrogen NMR spectroscopy of the 14 and above annulenes are mainly predicting the aromaticity. So first we should know what is chemical shift value. This is the chemical shift value scale. Okay, generally the chemical shift value we represent in parts per million. If you observe for the H1 NMR spectroscopy, so we study about only hydrogen atoms but not carbon atoms and other atoms. Hydrogens are the main key role in hydrogen NMR spectroscopy. In hydrogen NMR spectroscopy, generally we talk about chemical shift value. Chemical shift value generally represented by this figure, that is delta. Okay, so this is the scale. Here 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 10 number. If the chemical shift values are below 5, then we call them as shielded nuclei. They represents low frequency values and we say that it is upfield. Next, if the chemical shift values are above 5, then we say them the nucleus are deshielded. It is high frequency values and it is a downfield. Okay, so don't forget this scale. So from the 0 to 10, from 0 to almost 5 it is shielded, and from the 5 up to 10 it is deshielded. What is shielded? What is deshielded? We know that around the nuclei there are electrons. Okay, if the electron density is more around the nucleus, then we call it as shielded nuclei. So like this, if you see around this nucleus there are much number of electrons. Okay, it is called shielded nuclei. Then so see here there are only some electrons, so it is somewhat deshielded. It is somewhat more deshielded, it is much deshielded. Depending on the number of electrons around the nucleus, generally we classify, we say it is deshielded or it is shielded. So be careful, you please remember the concept what is shielded, what is deshielded, because I use so many times the term shielded, deshielded. You don't confuse. So that is the reason I am telling you shielded nuclei means there are more electrons around the nucleus. If I say deshielded, deshielded nuclei means there are much less number of electron density around the nucleus. Okay, what are the factors affecting this nuclei for the shielding or deshielding? Depending on the electron density only, so we called it as deshielded or shielded. So for all the atoms which are shielded, the chemical shift value will come lower the 5, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, number below number 5. If the nuclei is deshielded, then the resonance, the nuclear magnetic resonance, the chemical shift value become more than 5. So see here in this time scale, if the nuclei is shielded with electrons, then it has low chemical shift value. If the nuclei is de-shielded, then it has a higher value of chemical shift. So let us discuss some factors they influencing chemical shift value. First one, inductive effect. So what is this inductive effect? If the nuclei is attached to a atom which is more electronegative than this one. For example, if the nucleus is attached with a fluorine atom, we know that fluorine is highly electronegative atom. So due to the minus inductive effect, or due to the more electronegativity of the fluorine atom, the fluorine attracts the electrons towards the fluorine atom. So ultimately the electron density or the electron cloud around the hydrogen atom will get lessened. Automatically the nuclei will get de-shielded. So that is one factor in the concept of chemical shift. Another factor is van der Waals de-shielding. Okay. So what is the van der Waals de-shielding effect? If the nuclei around the electron cloud is near the another atom which is also having more electron cloud, then what will happen? These electron clouds will repel the electrons from the nuclei, so that the distance between the nuclei and the electrons will get more. Automatically these nuclei become de-shielded. That is van der Waals de-shielding effect. I hope you understand. Here also let us check these 4 hydrogen atoms. Okay. So these 4 hydrogen atoms are inside the ring. So due to the electron clouds near each other, there are sterically hindered positions. So these positions are strongly sterically hindered. Okay. Then what happened here? These electron clouds are repel each other. So due to the electron cloud repulsions, the electron density from the nuclei will get away, so that this nuclei will get de-shielded. Hope you understand. Due to the electron density or due to the electron cloud repulsions, the electrons will move far away from the nucleus. Then this nuclei will become de-shielded, van der Waals de-shielding effect. So that is the second factor. The third factor which affecting the chemical shift values is anisotropic effect. So what is anisotropic effect? We know that isotropic means the same, but if it is anisotropic, then it is different. In this anisotropic effect, the chemical bonds, we know that, so in the compounds there are chemical bonds. Chemical bonds are nothing but they represent electron cloud region, electron density region, so that it sets a magnetic field. Then this field will be stronger at one side and it will be weaker at another side. So this kind of difference is called anisotropic effect. Here the chemical shift values depends on the orientation of nuclei with respect to bond. If the orientation of nuclei is inside, it results in a one magnetic field. If the nuclei is out of the ring, then it results another kind of magnetic field. In this anisotropic effect, the chemical bonds represents electron density regions, so that they set a magnetic field. This magnetic field is different at one side and it is different at another side. So if it is paratropy, then another side it is diatropy. Okay. And also these chemical shift values depends on the orientation of the nuclei with respect to bond. If the nuclei orientation is above the ring, or if the orientation of the nuclei below the ring, or it is inside the ring, it is outside the ring. So I hope you understand the concept negative inductive effect, van der Waals de-shielding and anisotropic effect. Okay. So if you understand these 3 concepts, then so you can understand the concept of these annulenes in a easy nutshell. These 16 annulenes are made by 16 carbon atoms, or made by 16 conjugated pi electrons. So let us see the structure, how it is. Here you see, this is 16 annulenes there are 16 carbon atoms. Okay, there are 12 hydrogens outside the ring. These 12 hydrogens are called peripheral hydrogen atoms. These 4 hydrogen atoms we call annular hydrogen atoms. If an aniline with 16 carbon atoms or with 16 conjugated pi electrons, then there are some steric hindrance between those 4 hydrogen atoms inside the ring. If you raise the temperature, then it will become non-planar structure and shows non-aromatic properties. From the H1NMR spectral studies, 2 peaks are observed at the low temperatures. So one peak is at around 5.6 chemical shift value and another peak is around 10.8 chemical shift value. So let us check the time scale. At low temperatures, so it's showing a small peak. This small peak representing 4 hydrogen atoms. So it is at one environment, that is around 10.5. A long peak which represents more hydrogen atoms, that is 12 hydrogen atoms. So it is around 5.6 chemical shift value. There are 16 hydrogen atoms. So 12 hydrogen atoms at the one environment and 4 hydrogen atoms is at the different environment. So according to these environments, the spectral studies are also showing the same. So one peak representing 4 hydrogens and another peak representing 12 hydrogens. If we raise the temperature, then what happen? There will be carbon-carbon bond rotations. Then ultimately these inner hydrogen atoms come outside. Then what happen? The rotations will become fast. Then inner hydrogen atoms will come outside and vice versa. Outer hydrogen atoms also come inside. But from the NMR spectroscopic studies, from the NMR time scale, the average chemical environment is at the same value, that is around 5 chemical shift value. So why this is? Because these 4 hydrogen atoms are coming outside. So when the carbon-carbon bond rotations are happening with the rising of temperature to this aniline, then these all the 16 hydrogen atoms are coming at the same environment of chemical shift value. When we raise the temperature, the planar structure will become non-planar. At the high temperature, it is a non-aromatic compound. Now let us check the anisotropy of the 16 aniline. This anisotropy are generally 2 types. So one is diatropic anisotropy and another kind is paratropic anisotropy. If the compound is paratropic anisotropy, from the spectral studies, they are showing that if you observe these 4 hydrogen atoms, so they are representing a chemical shift value of 10.5. That means it is a high chemical shift value. Okay, so why this much high chemical shift value is observed at these 4 annular hydrogens? Because we have already discussed that due to van der Waals deshielding concept or due to these repulsions, the electrons will move far away from the nuclei of hydrogen, so that the hydrogen atom will become deshielded. It has a higher value of chemical shift. So these 4 hydrogen atoms representing 10.5 chemical shift value. Hope you understand. What about these 12 hydrogen atoms? These are shielded at around the value of 5.6. Almost these also deshielded, because here carbon hydrogen, definitely carbon has more electronegativity, so this carbon will attract the electrons towards it, so that it is also somewhat deshielded. So it is showing the value of 5.6. Okay, but it is these 4 nuclei are showing a much higher value than this value. Okay, let us check. So from the spectral studies, it is shown that these 2 peaks, these 4 hydrogens representing annular, these 12 hydrogens representing peripheral hydrogens. If the value of the annular hydrogens, that is chemical shift value, that is 10.5, annular, is more than peripheral hydrogen atoms, that is 5.6. Then we can say that it is a paratropic nature, and also we can say it is an anti-aromatic compound. If the chemical shift values of the annular hydrogens are more, then we can call paratropic anisotropy, and also those compounds are anti-aromatic in nature. If it is aromatic, then what happened? The reverse scenario will occur. The chemical shift values of the annular hydrogens is very less comparing with peripheral hydrogen atoms due to the aromaticity. We can call them diatropic anisotropy, and these diatropic anisotropy annulenes are generally aromatic, and these paratropic anisotropic compounds are generally anti-aromatic compounds. In case of annulenes, from the 14 onwards, through the spectral studies only, they determine the aromaticity nature of these annulenes. Okay, but more than 20 annulenes, these studies are very poor to determine the aromaticity of the annulenes. Okay, so mostly from the 10 up to the 20. So these annulenes are very important. So it is sufficient to study from 10 to 20. More than 20, it is not necessary. But we can predict the aromaticity nature through the spectral studies of the chemical shift values. I hope you understand today's concept, anisotropy and van der Waals deshielding in these annulenes. So how they are affecting the chemical shift values. So I hope you understand. If you have doubt, please leave in the comment section. I will clear it. If you think this video is useful, then please like our video and don't forget to subscribe our channel Siam Academy. In the next session, we are going to discuss 18 annulenes and 20 annulenes. So how the property from the spectral studies. I am leaving the cards here, so you can watch my previous classes from these cards. Thank you. Peace out. Jai Hind.